This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented active and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Transit News Magazine. We're here at the new Queens Museum in Flushing Meadow Corona Park, and yes, you can get here by mass transit. I'm Mark Gross.
The building was originally built as the World of Tomorrow Pavilion for the 1939 World's Fair, and then it became home to the United Nations General Assembly. But in 1972, this iconic building finally became home to the Queens Museum. I'm Lena Lansky.
And Lena, did you know in 2013, the Queens Museum got a facelift and expanded to 105,000 square feet. But don't worry, the museum's signature panorama is still intact, along with the other exhibits and some new ones too.
Well, before we take a tour of the Queens Museum on this month's show,
there are big changes coming to the Bronx. I'm Mark Gross and I've got the story. For the 1964 World's Fair, the Flushing Line added brand new subway cars to transport people to the fair in style.
the subway line that serviced both the 1939 and 1964 World's Fair is now being extended to the west side of Manhattan. So we sent our reporter, Jesse Mislavsky, for the first ride-along.
Our city is moving full speed ahead on our vision for the west side.
Former Mayor Bloomberg, several MTA officials, and other dignitaries took the first ride on the subway system's newest extension, the number 7 line to 34th Street Hudson Yards. Construction of the number 7 line extension began in December of 2007, and by August of 2013, approximately 90% of the work was completed, right before Bloomberg left office, cementing his legacy on New York.
Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. Thank you, Governor Cuomo, and everyone here for your support during the construction of this project. Its completion is a testament to both vision and diligence. Extending the number 7 subway is the key to opening the west side for development. This transit extension will provide needed access connecting the far west side to 19 out of our 23 subway lines in the system.
In addition to providing much-needed access, the terminal will improve service reliability by serving an estimated 35,000 peak-hour passengers per day, further reducing our carbon footprint. And it will look great, too.
I'm delighted to be here to welcome all of you and primarily to share with Mayor Bloomberg and all of you the soon-to-be completed extension of the number 7 line and what will be, when it's completed, a beautiful station.
The 2 new entrances will feature New York City Transit's first hybrid glass canopy design. The ancillary structures have facade paneling that future developers can remove to integrate their business front into the station's structure.
This new subway line might not be up and running yet, but everyone is excited for this new subway terminal at 34th Street Hudson Yard. For Transit News, I'm Jesse Mislavsky.
The weapon clock, which chimes every 15 minutes, is by artist-inventor Pedro Reyes, who reassembled destroyed weapons into musical instruments.
And for Black History Month, we have a lesson about an African-American inventor who made a major contribution to the subway system. Here's the story of Granville T. Woods.
Granville T. Woods was a tenacious African-American inventor born in the late 1800s. His unique and innovative ideas made communication, technology, and transportation what it is today.
Looking at someone like Granville T. Woods, great inventor, studying his life, it's great to know him. It's great to understand the struggles and the trials and the tribulations, his ability to be a multi-genius, in fact. Because so many inventors, if you have a backer, all you have to do is invent. But being of African-American descent, back in the days when he was inventing, he had to be more than that.
He improved upon a lot of the inventions that was already in place, and through his modification. You got to understand, this man was he was an electrical genius, and through his electrical expertise, he began to become an inventor.
Telephone transmitter, the air brake, the roller coaster, the concept for the third rail for the transit system, which I think without it, New York would be a very different place.
It all started when he left his hometown of Columbus, Ohio, to pursue his engineering dreams in New York City. He quickly established himself among other leading inventors, but with success came controversy.
Granville T. Woods had to come up against Thomas Alva Edison, for instance, and some of the other large firms of that time, and knowing how to use the system to counteract their particular acts that were trying to utilize his inventive mind and call the products of that mind their products also.
I think in part, the struggle of Granville T. Woods to just, hold on to his patents and to make his name known is just as much as the struggle for, to produce the inventions that he came up with. Because, dealing with General Electric and having, to take them to court regarding, the third rail concept and some of his other concepts, that was huge. And to actually win a case, is profound during that particular time.
Dubbed the Black Edison, his most coveted and controversial inventions were integral to the evolution of transportation.
His patents covered a long span. He spent a lot of time just, thinking and working out these inventions, examining what was used at the time, and then creating ways to improve on that.
Well, the dead man is something that is utilized by the motormen on the subway system. If something happened to him, he get ill and he falls down, the train automatically stops. So that's a key invention even today, as well as the induction telegraph system that connects the trains with the board, and they can communicate with the motormen, vice versa.
The concept of a train being driven, by a third rail rather than a cable car, it definitely frees up the street. And I think that there's less of an opportunity for injuries to others, because that's basically what his technology did. It replaced the cable car.
He really is one of the major players in the Industrial Revolution because, of course, transportation becomes very important in the Industrial Revolution, not just your products, but how to transport them in the quickest manner.
Even though he was born a free man, Woods was no stranger to discrimination. The immense adversity of the time motivated him to fight harder for his recognition.
By sheer intelligence, there was no way to deny what he produced. And that's how he survived, because there was no dispute about the things that he had invented, their value, their importance. It just could not be disputed. So he had to be respected for that, if nothing else.
Respect is something that he definitely earned, but he may not have anticipated the recognition that he has received over 100 years later. A Coney Island street in Brooklyn now bears his name, and PS 335, also known as the Granville T. Woods School, works to keep his legacy alive by incorporating his achievements into their curriculum.
In 1876,
sometimes young people need to know that someone else has walked that path before and established, the yes I can. And I think that And I think every young child knows about Granville T. Woods. You know, it's not like he's a hidden hero. Probably if you'd asked 30 years ago, you might not have gotten the response that we have today.
Even though like he was discriminated by his color, he still worked hard to invent what we have today.
A man like Granville T. Woods allowed our children to see, wow, what I really inspired them to think about is if he could do it back then, you could do it now.
While there is no record that Woods ever attended college, his natural talent and unwavering persistence is an inspiration to the African American youth.
They're looking at this gentleman and all of his work, and they're saying to themselves, I can be like Granville T. Woods, just like our President Barack Obama.
He inspires me to do it because he left a message saying you can do what you set your mind to, and he really did what he was chosen to do.
Let's sing the praises of our school, the school we love so dear. Here we've been taught to read, to write, and respect our fellow men. Granville T, Wood School, we love you, yes we do, Granville T, Wood School, we love you, yes we do.
Woods could not have predicted that he would leave a lasting impact on generations of African Americans, but the message is clear.
Any stumbling block that someone puts in your path, you should look for a way to make it into a stepping stone or leap over it. If you can, walk around it, crawl under it, but just get to where you want to go. Don't let anyone stop you. And I love him for that.
We love you, yes we do.
The panorama of the city of New York is the crown jewel of the Queens Museum, and it's the world's largest scale model.
The panorama has been at the Queens Museum since the 1964 World's Fair. Every building, waterway, and road has been replicated.
You can't tell from here, but in the Bronx, there's a massive renewal going on the number 6 line. I took a trip out there to check on the progress. The MTA announced a massive 5-station renewal for the number 6 line in the Bronx. The 6 line renewal aims to breathe new life into the stations that have fallen into disrepair. The 5 affected stations all opened in 1920 and are nearing their 100th anniversary, and the renewal will make them safer and more appealing.
We're contracted for 5 stations on the Pelham line here. We're doing Castle Hill and Middletown this year. Next year we'll be constructing Zariga and Buer Avenue stations, and the Pelham Bay station will run continuous through the project.
The MTA will complete the project as fast as possible with minimal impact to service.
The track work is all performed on weekends, Friday midnight till 5 a.m. on Monday. We remove the track due to various demolition and reconstruction activities. The track is placed back in service for 5 a.m. Monday morning.
However, repairs like these take time because these stations will be reconstructed the old-fashioned way.
We have a series of laborers demolishing the track bed with jackhammers. The track is all removed by hand, placed back in hand, and really the steel erection is constructed with a series of chain falls and mostly handwork on these jobs. Very little equipment goes into reconstructing these stations.
In addition to a full makeover, much of the stations will have to be completely redesigned to meet ADA standards.
The other work involved is the demolition of the mezzanines and reconstruction of the entire floors, sides, siding, and the station floor areas, the new agent booth, the guardrails and the window screens, canopies, lightings and platform edges, tactile tiles, what we call, and raising of the ADA platform boarding area.
And once the stations are complete, customers can enjoy the modern amenities they have come to expect.
What improvement we are making is that we are providing new lighting, new signage, help points that will provide service to the customers in terms of access and information to the passengers about the trains' arrivals, times, and other things.
And when can riders expect to see their new stations?
It will complete in 27 months to a substantial completion in August 2015. A total of 27 months for substantial completion.
The renewal of these 5 stations is a huge investment in the Bronx, but it'll pay off with happy commuters. I'm Mark Gross reporting for Transit News.
I'm here with David Strauss from the new and improved Queens Museum. David, tell us a little bit about the Queens Museum.
Well, first off, it's great to have you guys back. I know you were here a few years ago. So what we've really done is completely recreate what the Queens Museum is. The building is twice the size it was. We've got a day-lit, beautiful new lobby and atrium. We actually have 2 entries now and a beautiful new facade on the Grand Central side of the building, another on the Park side of the building. And inside we've got twice as many galleries, public event spaces, educational spaces, and really a whole new feel for the museum.
What do you have happening for the winter?
Well, the shows that we've got range from things that are here, obviously old favorites like the Panorama of the City of New York are still here, and that's always a crowd pleaser. We've got our collection of Tiffany glass, but really for the winter we've got 2 key shows coming in. One is about really poverty and homelessness, and beyond that, looking forward to the spring, the big thing is that's the 50th anniversary of the World's Fair, and we're celebrating that with a huge Andy Warhol show.
What do you have going on now?
Well, behind me, obviously, you can see some fantastic contemporary Cuban art, and we're about to move into a new season with some other great projects, a lot of exciting family programs, screenings.
What's the best way of getting here?
Well, obviously, we're surrounded by highways. The Grand Central Parkway, we have free parking. That's fantastic, easy to get to. And the 7 train will drop you off in Flushing Meadows Corona Park, and it's a nice leisurely walk through the park, about 10 minutes, and it's really a beautiful thing in all seasons.
Peter Schumann's Shatterer House contains unique puppets that are 20 feet high and have towered over protests and demonstrations since the Vietnam War.
And Lena, another form of art is animation. And one of our Transit reporters just finished his first animated video. Here's Italo Demotica with that story.
So Michael, tell us about Biz and Buzz.
Biz and Buzz are 2 bug characters. They go through these crazy adventures, and one you'll see here today in the museum. It started out as a comic strip character that Jim Alge had started in college. And through the years, we were thinking of what type of animation could we do. And we kept going back to Biz and Buzz. So we developed the characters even more, and they are what you see here today.
How did you come up with the character voices?
Well, that's easy. You just look at the physical characteristics. The skinny guy, well, he's a little bit more demonstrative.
And the heavyset guy, that's Buzz. He's a little dim-witted, but he's fun.
How long did it take to put your cartoon together?
Well, we don't know anything about animation, but we do have our friend Kevin Langley, and he worked in Flash on this, and we all have full-time jobs. And working on it part-time as he could, this clip that you see here took about 8 to 9 months to do.
How can we see your cartoon?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
You can see it at www.bizandbuzz.com.
Thanks, Mike. And now, Biz and Buzz.
See, Buzz? Now this is an artist. Intelligent, creative, outstanding.
I don't know, Biz. I did better with color by numbers.
Buzz, this man is a genius. One of the all-time great artists in history.
Yes, but if history tells us anything, it's not to repeat the same mistake twice. And this guy kept painting a whole bunch of this junk.
Look at this. Come on, Buzz. What does this say to you?
It says this guy should have let the paint dry before standing it on its end.
Really? Give me your honest opinion of, say, this one.
Girl picking nose.
And this?
Very angry horse.
What about this one?
Michael Jackson. Hey, Biz, what's that one?
Where?
Up there.
You idiot! That's a dried up dead fly.
Now that's art.
Take me home.
During the time this building was home to the UN General Assembly, one of its leaders was Ralph Bunche, who in 1950 was the first African American to win a Nobel Peace Prize.
Today, thanks to those who had the courage to face adversity, women and minority businesses have a shot at contracts with the MTA. Here's Leon Goodman with tips on getting those contracts.
The MTA has made a significant investment to launch and operate the Small Business Development Program, which includes the Small Business Mentoring Program.
It's a program that we created to include the smaller businesses, smaller contractors in our buying out process, designing projects that would fit the smaller firms so they would bid to us directly as prime contractors and not be regulated to doing business only as subcontractors. We also have a bonding program in which we assist them in getting bonding. We waive bonding, meaning that we have created an internal bond program. So if you're bidding to us and you're bondless, then we will bond you. We have a loan program in which we issue loans to firms who need capital, startup capital. And we have a training program. In a training program, the goal is essentially to train contractors how to finish our projects safely, timely, and on budget.
Talk a little bit about some of the successes of the program.
The goals are on our state-funded projects. It is a total of 20% MWBE goal, and we are currently at 24%.
There are a number of mega projects going on in New York City right now. Can you talk a little bit about some of the dollar values of those projects?
Well, if you look at 2nd Avenue Subway, the mega project there, the total dollar value amount is $4.6 billion. If you look at East Side Access, it's $8 billion. We found that the average minority-owned firm or certified firm did not have the wherewithal in order to work on those projects. So what we did was we tailored a program especially for them.
What is required to get certified as a minority business enterprise?
The owner or the principal needs to own most of the company and be in control of the day-to-day business decisions of that company. At the MTA, as you know, with 6 operating agencies, it is a very hard place to navigate. So we try to make it easy. We try to bring all the players in one room. We give them the information that they need in order for them to start bidding on our projects.
What advice would you give to other minority and women-owned businesses to encourage them to participate?
They need to be focused. When afforded the opportunity, they should also finish our project safely, timed, on budget. And the world is yours because our new 5-year capital plan is going to be $35 billion. So we are a major player in this region.
Whether it is snow, sleet, or rain, work goes on at the MTA 24/7. We got to meet some contractors who make it happen.
By participating in the Small Business Mentoring Program, the Malcolm Patrick Corporation has improved its ability to successfully manage public works projects as a prime contractor.
Our main line of work is ornamental steel, and also we do site work, excavation, and concrete form work.
What kind of projects have you worked on for the MTA?
Our principal project was the Court Street Station in Long Island City, where we supplied the concrete for the development of the interchange between the stations at Court Street. The most popular project is the one you see right behind us here at 130 Livingston Street, where we provided a high pedestrian shed for the protection of the pedestrians here in Brooklyn.
How did you learn about the Small Business Development Program?
We became more and more interested when we saw the amount of capital improvement projects that the MTA was involved here in the city of New York.
What advice would you give to other small businesses?
Set up a good corporate plan to have the infrastructure within your corporation to perform the work that you're claiming that you're able to do. That would involve having sufficient administration, sufficient labor force, and a technical group that would be able to support that.
At the Long Island Railroad Atlantic Yards, McKissick & McKissick is working on a $300 million infrastructure and development project that includes new track as well as the demolition and replacement of the Carlton Avenue Bridge.
We were incorporated and established in 1905 by my grandfather and his brother, Calvin and Moses McKissick, the first black licensed architects in the country, and they have license 117 and 118 in the state of Tennessee. However, our origins did not start with them. It dates back 2 more generations to the first descendant of our family, Moses McKissick I, who came here as a slave and was a slave to a contractor named William McKissick that taught him the trade of making bricks. So you see, I'm 5th generation in this business.
What advice do you have for other small businesses that would like to participate in the program?
Believe that you can obtain your dreams and your goals, because you can. But beyond that, because that deals with your psyche as an individual, you have to make sure you have advocates inside of an agency that are working on your behalf. I mean, getting the certification is the first step, but then you have to sell yourself to the actual buyer. You got to focus on the prize, you know, that first project. Get it no matter what. If you're a sub, I don't care how small it is, get your foot through the door and then just keep it opening it wider and wider.
The MTA Small Business Development Program has opportunities for minority and women-owned businesses, but the first step is up to you. I'm Leon Goodman for Transit News.
Mark, the new Queens Museum is a great place to visit on these cold, cold winter days, but we only had time to show a very small part of their collection, so we definitely need to come back.
I agree, and we had such a good time, and I learned so much about the 1964 World's Fair. I feel like I was there. With mass transit being so close by, I definitely have to bring the family here.
I'm with you there. So remember, if you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email us at transitnews@nyct.com. I'm Lena Lansky. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Mark Gross. Thanks for riding. Lena, I think I see the transit building. It's like right over there.
This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented active and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.